Ever thought about DIY home renovation? Megu did, and let me tell you, it went exactly how you'd imagine. If how you'd imagine involves tools becoming projectiles and walls developing a mind of their own. Get ready to laugh and maybe feel a little better about your own DIY fails as Megu turns a simple fix into an animated catastrophe. You won't believe the chaos. Meet Megu, our fearless DIY enthusiast who's absolutely convinced that home renovation is easy. I mean, how hard can it be, right? Just a few nails here, a little paint there, and boom, instant home improvement. Armed with confidence and a brand new toolbox, Megu surveys his pristine living space with the eyes of a visionary. That slightly crooked picture frame? Easy fix. That squeaky floorboard? Child's play. That small crack in the wall? He's got this. Megu stands there, hands on hips, nodding with complete certainty. "I'll have this done by lunchtime," he declares to absolutely no one. Spoiler alert, he will not have this done by lunchtime.
Megu starts with something simple, hanging a shelf. But the first screw goes in crooked. No problem, he'll just adjust it. Except now the screw is stripped. Okay, new screw. But wait, why is that part of the wall crumbling? He moves on to fixing that leaky faucet under the sink. One twist of the wrench, and water. Lots of water. More water than seems physically possible from one small pipe. Megu's frantically grabbing towels, but the leak is winning. "It's fine, it's all part of the process," Megu mutters, now completely soaked, his confidence starting to crack like that wall he was trying to fix. Each new task brings a new complication. The paint lid won't open until it suddenly flies off, splattering everywhere. The hammer slips from his grip. The measuring tape snaps back with vengeance. It's like the house itself is watching, waiting, preparing for what comes next. And then all hell breaks loose. The drill starts spinning on its own, pulling Megu across the room like he's water skiing on dry land. The latter develops a personal vendetta, collapsing at the worst possible moment. Tools are flying through the air like they've achieved sentience and chosen chaos. Megu reaches out to steady himself against the wall, and it crumbles. Not a little crack, not a small hole. The entire section just gives up on life and collapses into dust. The floorboards beneath his feet start buckling. The ceiling is making ominous creaking sounds. Even the light fixtures are swinging like they're auditioning for a disaster movie. Megu's eyes go wide with the dawning realization that he hasn't been renovating the house. The house has been fighting back, and the house is winning. His expression transforms from "I've got this" to "What have I done?" to pure, unfiltered comedic despair as he watches his simple weekend project become a full-scale demolition. When the dust finally settles, and there is a lot of dust, Megu stands in what can only be described as a war zone. Where there was once a cozy living room, there's now rubble. The shelf he wanted to hang? It's embedded in the opposite wall. The faucet he tried to fix? It's now a decorative fountain feature, and not in a good way. Paint splatters cover surfaces that were never meant to be painted. Tools are scattered like archaeological artifacts. There's a hammer lodged in the ceiling, and honestly, no one knows how it got there. Megu, covered head to toe in dust, paint, and regret, surveys his handiwork with the defeated expression of a man who has learned a valuable lesson. Or has he? He picks up a fallen paintbrush, looks at it, looks at the destruction around him, and lets out a long, exhausted sigh. "Well," he says to the chaos, "at least it can't get any worse." Somewhere in the house, a pipe bursts.
Cut to a montage of professional contractors walking through Megu's disaster zone, shaking their heads in disbelief. One points at the hammer in the ceiling. Another takes photos, probably for training purposes on what not to do. We see a split screen, before showing Megu's pristine house, and after showing Well, showing what happens when unstoppable enthusiasm meets immovable incompetence. But here's the thing about Megu. He's already browsing online for his next project. Kitchen remodel? Bathroom renovation? Building a deck? As he scrolls through DIY tutorials with that familiar twinkle of dangerous optimism in his eye, we can't help but wonder, will he ever learn? Probably not. And honestly, we can't wait to see what he destroys next. So before you tackle that DIY project you've been putting off, maybe learn from Megu's mistakes. Or don't. Your disaster stories are always welcome. Just remember, sometimes calling a professional isn't giving up. It's accepting that your house deserves to survive. And if you've got your own DIY nightmare stories, share them in the comments. Misery loves company, and Megu could use some friends in the I Destroyed My House Club.